When I was growing up, I went to Disneyland almost every single year. After going so much, I would quickly form my favorite rides list in my head and get disappointed when I had to ride something else. It wasn't until recently that I started appreciating some of the lesser liked attractions, and it got me thinking, what are the top 10 most underrated rides at Disneyland and California Adventure? Number 10 is Alice in Wonderland. I really found a new appreciation for this ride in the past year or two. Disneyland is the only place on earth where you can ride it, and it's just so different from any other Fantasyland dark ride. I love how the track goes up and down on different levels of the show building, which separates it from all the other rides in Fantasyland. Number 9 is the Jungle Cruise. This ride is a Disney classic. It opened in 1955 along with Disneyland as an opening day attraction, but I feel like it doesn't receive enough love for being at this status. It's a fun ride where you get a new experience every time due to the skipper's changing personalities. It is often overlooked for Indiana Jones or Pirates of the Caribbean, which is just around the corner. Number 8 is Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters. Located in Tomorrowland, this ride is the original Toy Story Midway Mania, but it's not even close to being as popular. Yeah, it's older and the technology is worse, but the physical sets are so cool to look and shoot at. It is also a lot harder for me to get a good score on the ride compared to Midway Mania, so I like the challenge a lot more. Number 7 is Autopia. This is the ride where I was able to drive for the first time on my own, so there is some nostalgia whenever I choose to ride it. You know what? I take it back. This ride actually just sucks. For one, it's super outdated. Like, the ride is sponsored by Honda, for God's sake. Like, come on, you're in Tomorrowland, so stop using the car of yesterday. Use a company that actually seems futuristic, like Tesla or Rivian or something like that. Like, you walk into Tomorrowland and these futuristic looking go-karts are pumping gasoline through the engines, stinking up the air. Second, the ride takes up so much space. Like, we could put a whole entire new land where the ride is. And last, the track kills the fun. You literally just bang against the track from start to finish, and when the ride comes to a stop, you get hit by a little from behind you thinking that's funny to play bumper cars, killing your back and neck. Number 6 is Grizzly Bear River Run. I love this ride. I think that I probably have the most fun on this ride compared to any other ride at the resort. Being on a raft with a group of people watching each other's reaction is always super funny. It's always a competition to see who can get the luckiest and come off the ride the driest. Besides the fun factor, the ride is one of the most beautifully themed rides at the resort. I'm one of the few who will ride this even at the coldest days in the park. Number 5 is Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. was rethemed from one of the Disney's worst ever made attractions, Superstar Limo. The reskin of the ride was tremendous and has become one of my favorite dark rides. For some reason, many people do not feel the same, and the ride almost never has any wait, which I'm completely fine with. Alright, number 4 is Davy Crockett Explorer Canoes. Hear me out on this one. I used to be like most others and think this ride was just a glorified arm workout until my most recent ride a month ago. First, the crew working the attraction were all hilarious. They were cracking jokes and making fun of some of the people in our party. Second, the paddling was not really that hard. Anyone who complains about the ride being a workout is just wrong. If it really gets too hard for you, then you can just stop paddling. The whole experience was really fun, and I think this is one of the most overlooked attractions at the resort. Number 3 is Star Tours. Star Tours was a smash hit when it first opened in 1987. Over the years, the lines have been on the decline, especially after the opening of Galaxy's Edge. Now it has one of the shortest wait times in all of Tomorrowland. Star Tours is in a weird position. With Galaxy's Edge open, it feels out of place. I feel like the lack of popularity isn't really its fault. I would much rather have Star Tours as an attraction in Galaxy's Edge than Smuggler's Run. I believe it is a way better ride. Unfortunately, the fate of Star Tours remains up in the air as Tomorrowland is growing more and more outdated. Number 2 is the Matterhorn Bobsleds. While this is a popular ride, many people complain about the roughness of it. I believe this is a top 3 ride at Disneyland. The roughness adds to the thrill factor of an adventure through the snowy caves of the Matterhorn. It doesn't receive the recognition it deserves, especially with all of the history behind the attraction. It is extremely impressive how well it has held up since its opening in 1959. Number 1 is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. This is the most underrated ride at Disneyland. For starters, the Disneyland version is the only version remaining, so it's the only place in the world you can ride it. Second, I believe that this is the best Fantasyland dark ride. Peter Pan draws in massive crowds, and Mr. Toad usually has pretty short wait times. I also love how unique the ride is. and Mr. Toad is such a unique character that you don't really see in the resorts a lot. Having a ride dedicated to him is just really cool and something that's not appreciated enough. Alright guys, that was my top 10 most underrated rides at the Disneyland Resort. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you disagree, tell me what your top 10 in the comments are. Please like and subscribe as it helps me make more videos in this channel, and I'll see you guys soon.